All right, and welcome once again, All Takes Valid, episode 60. As always, I go by Trill Trayy, joined once again with SP21 and my main man Vick. Vick, why don't you go ahead and give me a rundown for today's episode?
All right, so fellas, for today's episode, we will be doing. We have three topics. One, LeBron, his recent comments in regards to the whole play-in. Uh, we'll be talking about that. Then we will give our draft recap on this past draft that just happened, which was probably today's Tuesday, so 3 days ago or four. And then we'll be giving our grades in terms of top five that had the best drafts from either 1 to 10 or 5 to 1. And then we'll give our worst, the teams that we think did the worst, our top five. So with that being said, LeBron James made some comments. Spence, we know you're our NBA guy. Do you have that that quote or?
Well, not really the quote, but in general is that he said that whoever made the playing idea needs to be fired. It was a dumb idea. But I'm like, okay, let's think about this in a business sense.
Yeah.
Last year was probably, of course, everybody's worst year of their lives, especially for sports franchise, NFL, NHL, MLB, NBA. No fans, no revenue. So they did the bubble thing. Luckily, that was a success. It worked. So boom, here comes next season. Next season, okay, Adam Silver sent a huge message out. It was like, hey, the season has to start early because the Olympics is about to start in July. I know you guys just got off of this, but if we want to keep up with this quota, we have to do this now. So in order to keep the revenue in playing, keep the revenue rebuilding from, last year's like pandemic, the playing tournament had to happen. Now, note, let's put on a side note for that. This was a voted thing. This is not Adam Silver's like, yo, we're just doing the play. No, GMs, owners came together, had a meeting, which they have a meeting at the end of every season. They always have a meeting to either change the rules, fix something, or anything. So most franchise said okay to this because they know revenue is going to come in. So now the players is like, oh, this is stupid. We should not do this. But LeBron's just saying this now. Luka is saying this now. What is the two significance about those two teams? Those two teams are in the chances of have to play in the playing tournament. See, when it was back in January, it was all gravy. We didn't care about that. Whatever it happens, happens. It ain't gonna happen to us. But now, since you on the brink of either A, being in the playing tournament, or B, actually looking outside to get into the tournament, now's the issue. See, that's not right. So my thing is, if you didn't like it from before, why didn't he hear you before? Because now, since y'all number 7 now, it's an issue now. It's kind of funny.
It's deeper than that though. So I actually have, I guess, a little more context to it. So
okay,
this was back in March of 2020 last year. As we were talking about the pandemic season.
Right.
So this is LeBron. This is a quote from LeBron back in March of 2020. He said, "You got Portland, Memphis, NOLA, and Sacramento tinkering around there. If there's 5 or 10 games left, why not battle it out, make them play each other all 5 games?" So this was LeBron said this back in March of last year.
Okay.
So now, May 2nd, when, like you said, now he's a game from having to be in the play-in. Now he's saying whoever came up with this shit needs to be fired.
Now
it's different.
Mm.
So I just find that funny.
Right.
So now, first off, though, I agree, though. I agree with him in the fact that I don't believe in the play-in. I think it's dumb. To me personally, I don't agree with it either. But the whole big thing with LeBron saying is because of what I just said, what he said in March last year. when you had your position locked up and everything, you knew you weren't going to be in it. Oh yeah, just let them play it out. But now because you fall into that, now it's dumb. So no, keep that same energy, bro. That's all. You got to keep that same energy.
Yeah. I agree with both of y'all on this whole subject. I mean, I was laughing at it because I mean, you know, he's the GOAT, right? He's most people's GOAT, but he ain't my GOAT. But regardless, I found it so funny that he would have that comment, and I'm glad you had pointed that out, Trey, because I was getting ready to state that LeBron had a different viewpoint a little bit over a year from now, a year ago to say, and yeah, I just, obviously it affects his bottom line, the way to say, to where typically at this time he's ready to sit back, relax, get his rest. So when playoffs come, he can activate the playoff Bron, and where basically he's gonna,
hey,
play.
He had enough rest. He been hurt, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, no, he had his rest.
Have you seen him?
You seen that boy KD though?
Have you seen him play?
You tough, right?
You see LeBron play?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the past 2 games?
I've seen it, but hey.
Yeah.
He still looked hurt to me. He still looked hurt to me.
He's the greatest player on the planet.
Yeah.
He'll figure it out.
So the funny thing is like the people that you said, like the teams that he named, Trailblazers, Kings, all that, those were really 8 to 7 seeds. Those are the teams that he knows those are going to be 7 to 8 seeds. So like he said, if he said it in March, then okay, cool. Then that makes him, one, either a bigger hypocrite, and two, it's just like, yo, like I said, it wasn't a problem because you have the number 1 seed straight. You're defending champs. You were good.
Mm-hmm.
But since you got injured and your boy got injured and your team went from being the Lakers to the Cavaliers, now it's a problem because now you got to do all this, and your rest of your schedule isn't easy. It isn't easy. You probably have 1 game that you could slide by. You got lucky with the Nuggets.
Hey, what a difference a year makes in the NBA. The Lakers are about to be in a play-in situation, and the New York Knicks have clinched the playoff berth.
A playoff berth. A playoff berth.
Wow, like that's crazy. The New York Knicks, what are the Knickerbockers, whatever it is.
Yeah, Julius Randle, MPI, man. I'm saying now, Julius Randle, MIP, most improved player.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
it's too many acronyms. Just
I
don't
got
know what
you.
that means.
Yeah,
just
most improved player. My fault. Yeah, most improved player, Julius Randle.
And just think, he was once a Laker. Maybe if he was still there, they wouldn't be looking at a play-in right now.
Man, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. I just,
I can't talk too much though. We don't got a playoff spot locked up right now, Miami Heat fans.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, we don't either.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, it's disappointing to hear that, again, just going to finishing off on that, but it's disappointing hearing that from LeBron, just because, remember a year ago, Damian Lillard, said as long as he had a chance to play in, he's all about it, but he ain't got no chance, then why play? But, with LeBron's comment, talking about that, that person needs to get fired. I mean, obviously it's definitely headlines on every sports channel the next day, but I just think, to me, hey, you got a shot. We are the defending champions in the NBA. So, I mean, it just shows that LeBron is, I mean, at least in my eyes, he's a little worried that they may potentially get knocked out by some team just based off of their play. But I wouldn't be too worried if I was, for anybody that's a Lakers fan.
No, hold on. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I don't know about that.
Not for anybody that's a Laker fan. You are a Lakers fan. Don't try to disown. Don't just try to discredit them
Hey,
now.
I wasn't trying to say that. I was just saying for anybody that's a Lakers fan, I'm just speaking to the general public.
On your
Oh,
Lakerness.
Anybody. I ain't look. I mean,
listen,
Kobe, Lakers, that's my
listen.
team. But hey, calm down, relax. The Lakers will be in the playoffs. Don't worry about it.
Ooh, I like that.
Listen,
I like the confidence. I don't know
I
if I
really
believe
do.
you. But I
don't. I don't. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't. When your team has a record for the past 12 games that can go to a 3-minute drought of points in the last 5 games, that's scary. That's scary.
And even if they
remember last year, a lot of people
if they sneak into the playoffs, with how they've been playing right now, they might get bounced. So I don't know.
By the Trailblazers.
As a Lakers fan, which one is worse? Would you rather not make it and you have that as, I guess, your excuse? Oh, we had to go into play-in. We weren't healthy yet, blah, blah, blah. Or do you want to make it and get bounced as the defending champs?
By the Trailblazers.
Hey, I'd rather make it, at least say that I have a chance to get to the NBA Finals. If I get bounced, at least we made it into the dance. If we didn't make it, that's just not acceptable.
Do you think LeBron feels the same way? I don't think he wants to get back.
I'm sure LeBron doesn't. And that's one thing too. If he gets bounced, especially in the first round, that argument that everybody always talks about with Kobe and Jordan never being bounced in the first round, LeBron will no longer have that.
Hey, these are all hypotheticals right now. I'm just saying.
These are all hypotheticals, but I don't believe the Lakers will miss the playoffs. And I don't believe the Lakers will get bounced in the first round. They seem to always turn it around come time playoffs. So we'll see.
And you believe they're gonna repeat?
Hey, it's gonna be tough, but I ain't gonna.
He got them goggles. He got them goggles on. They gold and purple. Them purple and gold goggles is on.
I can't guarantee. That's why I've told y'all. I said it on this channel that the Nets, they looking like a real problem. I'm sorry. I know that y'all Heat fans, but I'm just saying. I'm also, I'm just gonna say it like that. The Heat.
You got to worry about some teams over there in the West before you even think about.
Don't worry about us.
About the Nets.
What about y'all?
Hey.
y'all still gotta face the Jazz.
You talking like you gonna run through the West.
Oh, I didn't say all that. Now
I'm just saying you still gotta go get the Jazz, the Trailblazers, the Suns that locked up the West.
Hey, I've been saying, ever since Rajon Rondo, the point guard ability that he brought, it's brought a different dynamic to the Lakers offense. It don't look the same like last year. And obviously AD, his game has dropped. I don't know if he's gonna be able to bounce back because LeBron, he could turn it up at any point. But AD, you can't say the same about him because that ain't never been his track record. So I ain't saying the Lakers gonna repeat, but they're gonna fight. That's all I'm gonna say.
All right. So with that being said, we can go on to the next topic. Like you said, those comments were just like a cause to pause for me, just because you wasn't saying this last year around this time. So,
but now
I don't understand where the switch up. Even though I do agree with him that the play-in is, I don't like it. It's never because it's just never been that way. Like, so don't switch things up now. Last year, like Spence said, with the whole pandemic, it made sense to kind of do it that way, but you already shortened the season, so it's less games to play. So it's now, on top of that, a buy-in. I'm not feeling that. But again, with that said, we go on to the next topic and take a deeper dive into the 2021 draft. Last week, we finished up with everybody's first round draft picks. We'll get a little deeper into the remainder of the draft, as well as the winners and losers, which overall, I don't think there were many like quote unquote losers, but maybe lower graded drafts is what I'll call it versus winners and losers.
I agree.